In this sprint, besides the effort Kiva just mentioned, we also made some progress with the multi-cloud chatbot, and thanks to Davis' great help. So we got the new Python chatbot up and running in our GitHub code-based environment. We also learned that our chatbot is still being based on a single backend app service in Azure, which make the cross-platform migration a little bit challenging. Then we apply the microservice design pattern from a coding challenge, and took one step forward to decouple one service from the main chatbot service and run it as a separate API, as the next slide shows. Okay, so as you can see, each command is still being sent through the Teams chatbot as before, but the handler will run as a different services. There are a few reasons to separate them. First, the team service has to stay with Azure, but the individual handler can be hosted anywhere. So we got the first history handler moved to AWS Lambda, and the summarizer can be an Azure function app as planned for next sprint, and the Evo function can be a Docker container. So this architecture design will not only give us the flexibility to choose a cloud platform for individual service, but also pick up the best programming language for development. So in last sprint, GenAI team just completed the TypeScript to Python conversion, and we had a conversation to compare pros and cons. If we move to this proposed design, then we don't have to stay with a single language, but do whatever easier for a particular function. So it also enables us to quickly migrate any existing API from either internal or customer, without rewriting those functions and add it into our chatbot code repository. Next slide, please. In this sprint, we also get a chance to talk with a QA engineer for the website, as Kiva just mentioned. So we learned that all the testing were currently performed manually, and we decided to start the automation. So there are two utilities got integrated with our pipeline. The first one, Lighthouse from Google, check the overall quality and user experience, and you can simulate a mobile device and validate the web page in a few categories, including performance and accessibility. And Lighthouse does not only generate a report with scores, but also provide suggestion to improve, so that we can take actions accordingly. And if we switch the next slide, you can see something that Lighthouse doesn't do, which is the validate the hyperlinks. So we brought in this the second utility called Cypress. So it gives you the power to write code such as searching for all the hyperlinks element and send HTTP request to examine the response from each call. So based on the business team's requirement, we can do more for that, and we can also bring some other utilities to extend ability of our pipeline. So I think basically everything I have covered in this sprint. If there's no question, I'm going to pass it over to Raza to talk about some other areas cloud team completed in this sprint.